Hey guys, Kimber Schaefer here. We are at R1 MMA Training Center in South Oklahoma City, and this just happens to be your home gym. So tell us a little bit about, they are sponsoring, of course, these pre-fight interviews for Rage in the Cage 34. So tell us a little bit about this gym and, what you get out of training here.
Matt's great. He woke me in the first night he came in. He was like, here for self-defense? I'm like, no, I'm here for MMA. He was like, all right, let's go. He got me going, showed me around thing, met half of the guys that were here. They're all was just like, hey, you gonna come here? I'm like, I think so. Next day I was in here. They didn't waste any time. They were like, okay, you need to do this, this, and this. So I was like, what? And they're like, we'll show you. I'm like, okay. Jumped in, knew exactly what they were doing, helped me out, and did just pretty much was like, it's like a family here, just like it is with Assassins. It's a family. Like, there's like, hey sis, let's go. Like, you grapple with me today. I'm like, all right. So they've got me going with a lot of stuff, teaching me new things and all kinds of stuff.
Sounds great. Sounds like you found a home here in R1. Let's also talk about Assassin Fight Crew. You actually got your start because you just happened to work for the manager for Assassin Fight Crew, and he's become your fight manager since then. And he just noticed something in you that you really hadn't even seen in yourself or considered. And, he started talking to you about being a mixed martial arts fighter. And, he invited you to come to one of the Rage in the Cage events, and that was back in June, I believe. And then basically the rest is history. You fell in love with it basically at first sight.
Oh yeah, Terry is good. He we were talking about it at work. We used to work at a correctional facility together, doing all the maneuvers and stuff that we have to do. He was just like, you're one tough chick. It's like, thanks. And he was just like, ever thought about doing this? And he goes, you have a background. I was like, I used to wrestle, I used to do kickboxing and everything like that. And I was like, been trying to get back into it, but with work schedules and everything like that, I don't know if I can. He goes, come to this fight, see what you think about it. He goes, then I can get you into like the connections I have. I was like, okay. Went to the fight. I was like, oh, yeah. That night, I was like, get me in somewhere. Called around, found me this gym, and rest is history from there.
Let's talk a little bit about your background. You said you did have some wrestling and kickboxing in your past, so tell me a little bit about what all that entailed.
Wrestling, my whole entire family. I grew up with a bunch of guys. They're wrestling meets every single weekend, every tournament, everything, last 12 hours a piece and everything like that. So I got on there with them, got wrestling matches and everything like that with them. And kickboxing, did a couple college classes with it with a big instructor that actually has her own gym here in Del City. And she was like, you got big things going. You can actually go further into kickboxing, or you can go further into something else if you would want to. So she was trying to get me back into it, but then I just stopped taking the classes, everything like that. I started working more, so with workflow, got to pay the bills, everything first. But now that I'm back into it, I love it.
Let's talk about how you feel about the fact that not only are you going to be the first female MMA fighter to fight on a Rage in the Cage card, to my knowledge, you and your opponent, Stephanie K, will be the first female MMA fighters to enter a cage in the Oklahoma City area altogether. So how do you feel about that, about making history? And, there's so many people coming out to see this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I didn't even know we were actually the only ones that actually have not fought in Oklahoma at all. So it's pretty cool being the first in the Rage of the Cage, being in the spotlight and everything like that. I've talked to her a couple times, and she's excited. I'm excited. We're both pumped up for each other. It's just more so with us being women and everything like that. A lot of people don't think that we could actually do this with the whole fighting thing. We're not as tough as men. We're about to show you that we are.
And we do have lots of female MMA fighters that have fought in Oklahoma State, but I don't know of any that have fought at an event in Oklahoma City. Now, I may be wrong. That's just I can't think of anybody that has. So I'm really looking forward to you guys being in the cage and seeing a female fight. I don't really know a lot about Stephanie K's background as far as fighting, and of course you are also new into MMA. So it's really going to be exciting to see you guys. What do you feel like, you've only been training for probably about 6 months now. What do you feel like your strengths are?
Like I said last night on the radio show, I don't really have strengths and weaknesses. I mean, everything's a weak and a strength. The jiu-jitsu and everything that I'm going on, the grappling on the ground, more better at that. I have powerful legs with the kickboxing, everything like that. But we keep up on the ground or get on the ground, we can do it. But if we get on the floor, get on the floor. I mean, it's win-win situation on any kind of thing that we do. So
all right, I can't remember your exact words last night, but it was something like you're ready for anything.
Yeah, ready for anything. I mean, I don't have any weaknesses. I don't have any strengths. I mean, it's all mild in between everything. Whatever she throws at me, I'm going to throw right back. So
Sounds good. And before we end this interview, I want to give you the floor. Any sponsors that you want to thank?
Justin Phillips with the chiropractor clinic that we have out in Tecumseh, Oklahoma. He's one of the best ones that we've had. He's a really cool guy. Does chiropractor for me and my brother Assassin, so he's pretty cool.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much. You guys do not miss Katie Wade and Stephanie Kay making their fight debuts for Rage in the Cage 34. It's happening on Friday, January 16th at the Oklahoma City Farmers Public Market. Don't forget, you can still get tickets from any of these fighters or at Ticketstorm.com, Big Dick's Roadhouse, The Weight Room, or any Party Galaxy location. And we hope to see you guys there.